This is colligible test number 9, module 1. Okay. Number 1, the length of two sides of triangle are 4 centimeters and 6 centimeters. If the perimeter of the triangle 18 centimeters, what is the length in centimeters of the third side of this triangle? So you can kind of draw it. So 4 and 6, let's say third side is x. Then 4 plus 6 plus x has to be perimeter, which is 18. So this is 10, so x should be then 8. Okay, so answer is B. Number 2, which equation has the same solution as the given equation? So what you need to do is, if you look at the answer choice here, isolate 6x, right? So subtract 30 both sides. Then 16x equals then 190 minus 30 is a 160. So answer is C. Okay. Number 3, set a goal to walk at least 24 kilometers every day to prepare for a multi-day hike. And on a certain day, Dai plans to walk at a speed of 4 kilometers per hour. And what is the minimum number of hours Dai must walk on that day to fulfill the daily goal? Okay, so we know that the distance is rate times time, right? That's the only formula you need. Okay, so the speed, R is the speed, which is a 4. 4 times t, that's what we look for, minimum number of hours. To be the distance, that one should be at least, so greater than equal to 24, right? And then you divide by 4 both sides. T is greater than equal to 6 then. So at least 6 hours he need to walk in order to fulfill the daily goal. Okay, 3 is B. Number 4, the function g is defined, g of x is x squared plus 9. For which value of x? G of x is 25. So simply you just substitute here, 25. That is x squared plus 9. So when you subtract 9 both sides, so x squared equals 16. So when you put square root both sides, so x is a plus minus 4. So only positive 4 available. So number 4 is A. Number 5, which expression is equivalent to 9x squared plus 5x? So in the answer choices, it looks like they factor. So factor out x. So least common factor between two terms, only x. So 9x plus 5, right? So it is A. Okay. Number 6, each value in the data set shown represents the height in centimeter of the plant. So you have a total 10 data. And what is a mean value? Mean height in centimeters of these plants. So mean is you add all of them and divide by number of numbers. So when you add 6 plus, you add all of them like this and divide by 10, right? So if you put in the calculator, you're allowed to use a calculator, so then you get 9, okay? So answer is 9. Okay. All right. Number 7. A student council group is selling school posters for a fundraiser, and they use a function P of X is a 5x minus 220 to determine their profit P of X in dollars for selling X school posters in order to earn profit of $900. And how many school posters must they sell? So you plug it in 900 into the that equation given. So 900 equals 5x minus 220. Now you add the 220 both sides, so it'll be 120 equals to 5x, and you divide by 5, so x is 225. Okay, so they need to sell 225 posters in order to make profit $900. Number 8, Jay walks at a speed of 3 miles per hour. So this one walking, and then runs a little faster, which is 5 miles per hour. And then he walks W hours and runs odd hours. for a combined total 14 miles. So which equation represents this situation? So like I talked about it before, the distance is rate times time. So walking rate is a 3. So 3 times W hours, right? 3 times W. That's the distance by walking. And distance by running is 5 miles per hour times odd hours, right? So that total number of miles is 14. So that represents this situation. So A will be answer. Okay. Number 9. John paid a total $165 for a microscope by making a down payment $37 plus P monthly payment of $16 each. And which of the following equation represent this situation? So $37 down payment, that's one time payment, and each month $16, and then total P months. Okay, that's a total number of payment he made. That's add up to $165 total. So this one represents C then, right? Okay. Number 10, y minus 57 equals px. The given equation relates the positive numbers p, x, and y. Which equation correctly express y in terms of p and x? So you need to just simply isolate y. So add 57 both sides. So y equals px plus 57. So answer is B then. Okay. Move on. Number 11. A company opens an account with the initial balance $36,100. The initial earns interest and then no additional deposit or withdrawal made. So only one time deposit and then it grows. Right? The account balance is given by the exponential function A of t is account balance in dollars. T years after the account is opened. The account balance after 13 years is this. And then which of the equation could define A? So we know that first of all, you can eliminate this one. You cannot just say exponential function is less than 1. Then it will decrease the amount. So the 1 plus 0.05, so we know that is a 5% interest rate. Okay, 5% in decimal, 0.05. So that's why it's 105 to the power of t every year, 5% increase. And then you have to have initial amount. That's your account balance, right? So P value should be 36,000 right here, 100. So answer is A then. Okay, so this one doesn't make sense for initial value. Okay, move on. Number 12. The circle shown center O, circumference of 144 pi. Okay, and diameter PR and QS. So that means it's a center. O is a center. The length of PS, the length of arc PS is twice the length of arc PQ. So this one is like 2x and this one x. Now, what is the length of arc QR? So yeah, QR is also same as that one. As long as this angle same, the arc must be same too. Okay, so we know that then this one, since this is diameter, x plus 2x is half the circumference, right? So you can say 3x is half the circumference. So this one simply divide by 2, so 72 pi. So your x is 24 pi, like that. Now, question is, what is the length of arc QR? So this one, 2 times 24 pi, 48 pi will be your final answer. So 12 is B. Okay. 13. The solution to the system of equation is x and y. So what is a solution? What is the intersection? And then the intersection x value. So you simply substitute y, y equals negative 2x into the second equation. So 3x plus negative 2x equals 40. So then x is 40, right? Then you're done. X is 40. Number 13. Yeah, that's answer. 14. The frequency table summarizes the 57 data values in this data set and what is a minimum value data value in the data set. They simply ask you just what is the minimum value? What is the value? Those are data value. I mean, this is the maximum value, sorry. Maximum value. In the data value, what is the maximum? It's right here, right? So they kind of trick you. This one doesn't matter how many frequency you have. Just the maximum value itself is a 14. Okay, so number 14 answer is 14. Number 15, one leg of right triangle. Okay, so you draw right triangle here. Is 43.2. Okay, hypotenuse of the triangle is 196.8 millimeters. And then what is the length of the other leg of the triangle? Let's say x. And then you just you're allowed to use a calculator, so it's not a big deal. So x is square root then 196.8 square minus 43.2 square, right? Using Pythagorean theorem and solve for x. And then once you plug in the calculator, this one, then you would get 192. Okay? So answer is C. Just use Pythagorean theorem. Number 16, a wire with a length 106 inches is cut into two parts. Okay? And one part is x inches and the other one is y inches. The value of x is 6 more than 4 times the value of y. And then what is the value of x? Okay, so we know that x plus y is 106. Those are two parts. And then they give you another information. X is 6 more than 4 times y, so 4y plus 6, like that. And they ask x value. So let's find out. This one you plug it in here. So then 4y plus 6 plus y, 106. 5y, you subtract 6 both sides, 100. So y is 20. But that's not the answer. You're looking for x value. So you use here. So 20 times 4 is 80. 80 plus 6 is 86. So final answer, D. Okay, 16 is D. Now let's move on to 17. F of x is like that. The function f is given, and which table values represent y equals f of x minus 3. Okay, so this y is right here. What I notice here, so from here, when x equals to negative 6 or negative 5 or 4, your f of x is a 0, right? Because those are zeros, right? So that means y equals, let's say when x equals negative 6, example. So f of negative 6 minus 3. F of negative 6, we just found out that's a 0, right? 0 minus 3. So that's negative 3. So not this. Yeah, not this. So answer either B or C. Let's see one more. Y equals then, what about negative 5? F of negative 5 minus 3. F of negative 5 is another 0, so f of x will be 0. So 0 minus 3 is also negative 3. So yeah, answer has to be then B. This one doesn't make sense, right? So process of elimination. All right, number 18. A landscaper uses a hose that puts 88x ounces of water in a bucket, 5y minute. Okay, that's a rate. Now, which expression represents the number of ounces of water the hose puts in the bucket? 9y minutes. So at this rate, so you can make a proportion. If you have a two rates that equal to each other, because we are using same hose, then you can make a proportion. So you can say 5y minute, and it will be 88x ounces. Now, say m how many ounces in 9y minute? Okay, so you solve for m. So multiply, we're gonna multiply 9y. Okay, so to remove this, so your m, we solve for m, and this y cancel out, and then 99, I mean the 88 times 9, which is a 792x. Then you still have a 5 on the denominator, 5. So answer is a D. Okay, so make a proportion. Number 19, you have a system of equation here, and h is a constant, the system has a no solution. If you have a two linear system like that and the system has a no solution, then I'm gonna use like two lines are parallel, right? So the way you do, I'm gonna isolate constant on the first equation. So then to do that, you subtract 9y both sides, right? So then you get 4x minus 18y equals 5. Now, I'm going to make the same format on the second equation too. So I'm going to rearrange this second equation. So 4x, and then you subtract hy both sides, so minus hy. And then you move to the other side, so you subtract to both sides, so negative 2. So that's from the second equation, okay? That's from the second equation here. So now, how are you going to make it they are parallel? So your slope of this line will decide by these two coefficients, right? So as long as that two coefficients they are equal each other, that means they are parallel. And then you see that your c value, right, in standard form ax plus by equals c, your c value is different. That means they are not same line, so they are just a parallel, right? So simply h is 18, then you're done. So that shows two lines are parallel but different y-intercept. Then you're not gonna have any solution. So no solution. Okay, that's the easiest way. Number 20. Okay, 13 is p% means p over 100. Of means multiply 25. So the question is, what is the p value? Okay, you can reduce this one by 25. So p over 4 is 13, so p is then 13 times 4, which is 52. So that is your final answer. Number 20, yeah, that's a 52. Okay, let's move on. Remember, you are allowed to use a graphing calculator, so like a lot of times I'm going to use just calculator for this. Now, number 21, I want to remember square root x squared, that's a definition of absolute sign. Okay, that's equivalent. So then the left hand side, absolute x minus 2, that equals square root 3x plus 34. Okay, so you can do it algebraically by squaring both sides, but it takes a long time. So I'll rather use a graphing calculator. So graph this one and graph this one too. So find out intersection. So I already did it ahead of time. So then your the first graph, absolute graph, looks like this, right? Like that. And then if you graph this one, you will see like this kind of graph, right? So right here, the first intersection, you have negative 3. Second intersection, 10. But you're looking for a smallest solution, so it should be then negative 3. So negative 3 is, that's a smallest intersection. Okay, so negative 3 should be answer. So you can use the decimals if you don't have a calculator. Definitely that one is allowed. So just simply graph it, these two equations, and then find out intersection, and then pick the smallest one. Number 22, function f is defined by like this, okay? The function g is defined by this. So 1 unit, translate 1 unit to the right, okay? X minus 1. So y equals g of x in the xy plane has a x-intercept a, b, c, and those are distinct constants. Then what is the value of sum of their x-intercept? Okay, so we can find out g of x actually by plugging x minus 1 into f of x. So when you plug it in like x minus 1 plus 6, x minus 1 plus 5, x minus 1 plus 1, then it becomes x plus 5, x plus 4, and just x. So to find out x-intercept, like here, so then each one equals 0, right? So my x-intercept negative 5, negative 4, or 0, right? And then you simply add all of them. That's the question. What is the sum of x-intercept? So that's a negative 9. So B is a final answer. Okay, let's move on. Number 23. For x is greater than 0, the function f is defined as follows. So if I read this one, write equation, then f of x equals 200% is a 2, so 1% is a 2.01. Over means multiplication, x. Okay, so you have like y equals to 2.01x, right? What is this one? This function definitely not exponential. Exponential is like 2 to the x, things like that. So it's not exponential. It's a linear, but this slope is a positive, so going up, right? So that means it's increasing linear. So answer is D. 24. You have a quadratic equation. The function g is defined. G of x is a f of x minus 5. Again, this is horizontal translation, 5 unit to the left. And what value x g of x reach its minimum? So they ask you x value. Remember the vertex h and k. So find out your g of x and then solve for h. Okay, not minimum itself. So what x value the function g of x has a minimum. So h value they asking. So your g of x, f of x plus 5 is you simply plug it in x plus 5 into x, right? Plus 64, like that. Now you multiply it out, void it out, plus 64x plus 64 times 5, which is 320, plus 262. So let's collect like them. So you have only x squared 4x squared, and plus this one 40x plus 64x. Then you're gonna have 104x, and plus 4 times 2500 plus 320 and plus 262. Then you're gonna get 682. Now your h value is a negative b over 2a. I want you to remember that. That's the x value of the vertex in standard form. Then negative b value is this one. 104 over 2 times a is this one. So 4. Okay? Now you plug in the calculator. So then you get negative 13. So that's the question. That's the answer for the question. Okay? So it's not minimum they ask you. So to have a minimum, what is the x value that time? So you're looking for h value. Now, next one. 1 gallon of stain will cover 170 square feet of surface. A yard has a total fence area of W square feet, and which equation represents the total amount of stain as in gallons needed to stain the fence in this yard twice. Okay, there's a lot of information there. You can make a proportion here, right? So it said 1 gallon with 1 gallon of stain will cover 170 square feet. Okay, and a yard, that's the goal. You need to paint that the yard. I mean, not paint. Sorry. You're gonna put the stain a yard. Then total fence area is a W square feet, but twice. So the cover area is a 2W actually, right? So 2W square feet, because you're gonna put stain like twice. And the question is well, how many gallons, right? So let's say S gallon. Is that here? S gallon. Yeah, so you need to you set up like that and then solve for proportion here. Okay, so when you cross multiply, then 170s, you can ignore just unit. I just try to show you, proportions should be proportionally same unit. So 170s equals 1 times 2W is a 2W. And then you need to solve for S, right? Because the answer choice is they isolate S. So 2W over 170. Okay, and then it looks like you need to reduce. So by 2, 85, right? So W over 85. Okay, so answer is D. Okay. Now, 2 more problems to go. 26, Paul Richard, so Angel Cruz and Terry Smith the table shows the result of a poll and the total 803. So when you add these two votes, is 803. Both selected random were asked which candidate they would vote for upcoming election. According to the poll, 6,424 people vote in the election, and by how many votes would Angel Cruz be expected to win? By how many this candidate will win? So, okay, let's say look at this sample. Angel Cruz will definitely win because 488 versus 320 votes. So win by how many? So 483 minus 320. So if you compute this one, it's 163. So you can say in the sample 163 votes. This Angel Cruz win by this much votes, right? Out of 803 votes, right? But total actual vote is 6,424 votes. Actually, how many votes will this Angel Cruz will win by, right? So you can make a proportion like that. And then now, so it's simply you use a calculator. So 163 over 803 times 6,424. Then you're going to get 1,304 votes. So that many votes will win by, right? Okay, so answer is a B. Now the last one here, the right rectangular prism X. Okay, so I'm gonna draw rectangular prism X. So that's a rectangular prism X. That's a similar to rectangular prism Y. So a little bigger prism Y. So this is Y. Okay, that's similar. So similar means that they have some kind of scale factor we call. And then what they gave you is the surface area of the X is a 58. So this surface area of X is 58. And this surface area is basically here, 1,450, right? And the question is the volume of the right circular prism, Y. So this volume, let's say 2, right? I mean volume Y. So let's put Y. That one is a 1,250. Set that here. And the question is what is the sum of volumes X and Y? Okay, let's find out then volume X. And then remember, volume X is not the answer. So you have to add Vx, Vy after you find out Vx. So what are you going to do? If two similar figure, this is a 3D. Let's say this is X and Y is a scale factor. So let's say X over Y is this a scale factor. So then what we learn is from geometry, if two figures are similar, then the ratio of the surface area, right? So ratio of any area, right? So in this case, like surface areas is a square of scale factor. So X over Y is square. Okay, and also ratio of is very important. This one, ratio of volumes is X over Y scale factor cube. Okay, it's in the geometry book, so you can use this one. So we can find the X and Y. Then X over Y square, the ratio of surface area. That one is using 58 over 1,450 because using that surface area right there. So then from here, X over Y, so you can put it like 58 over 1450 and then to the power of 1/2. And then you put in the calculator, then you will get 1 over 5, right? Now, okay, so to find the volume of X, so Vx over then Vy is ratio volume is X over Y cube, right? So that one is a 1 over 5 cube. So 1 over 125, right? So your Vx is 1 over 125 times the Vy. Vy is 1250 here. Okay, so this one simply then 10, right? Okay, what is the final answer? They ask you what is the sum of two volumes. So Vx plus Vy. So Vx I found out 10, Vy they give you, which is 1250. So your final answer 1260 will be your final answer. Okay, so I'm gonna do the next module, next video.